Okay, so picture this. You're planning this amazing trip to Ronda in Spain,
Uh-huh.
but you're stuck on the where to stay part, apartments, houses, hotels.
Right.
It can be a lot. Well, we've got this super helpful blog post from Ronda today.
Okay.
It's like the go-to website for all things Ronda. And in this deep dive, we're going to break down the pros and cons of each
Awesome.
so you can make the best decision for your trip. No more endless scrolling on those booking sites.
I like it. Let's do it.
All right, so first up, apartments and houses. Rhonda today really highlights the space you get,
Yeah.
especially for families. Imagine kids having room to run around, parents getting a little peace and quiet.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's a huge plus. When you think about it, you're not all crammed into a single hotel room.
right.
Kids have space to play,
Hmm.
maybe even a little backyard if you go for a house.
Yeah.
So yeah, that extra space can be golden, especially for parents.
For sure. For sure. Okay, let's talk budget though, because both the blog and Booking.com suggest that apartments can be easier on the wallet, but Booking.com takes it a step further and says it's always cheaper.
Mm.
Rhonda, today seems a little less certain about that. So what do you think? I mean, especially for someone planning their trip.
Well, I think Booking.com might be getting a little ahead of themselves there.
Okay.
Sure, apartments can often be more budget-friendly,
Right.
but Ronda has these incredible festivals.
Oh, yeah.
And during those times, prices just skyrocket.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a hotel or an apartment. If your trip happens to coincide with one of those festivals,
Oh.
that cheaper apartment might not be so cheap anymore.
That's a really good point to keep in mind because, I mean, knowing about those festival price spikes could seriously save someone some cash.
For sure.
So it's all about timing. But, okay, beyond just the practical stuff, Rhonda today keeps talking about this live like a local thing,
Yeah.
especially with house rentals. And I gotta admit, it sounds pretty tempting.
Oh, it's all about immersion, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just being a tourist, you're actually living in a neighborhood,
Right.
maybe grabbing bread from the local bakery every morning,
Oh, that's nice.
chatting with the shopkeepers. It's just a completely different way to experience Ronda.
Okay, that sounds amazing in theory, but I'm picturing myself, wandering around lost, trying to find that bakery.
Uh-huh.
Is it really that easy to blend in?
It definitely takes a bit of effort, but I think that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
You know, do a little research.
Mm-hmm.
Look for properties on websites that specialize in locally owned places.
Huh?
And reading reviews from past guests can be super helpful too.
Mm.
They'll give you a sense of whether it's truly an authentic local experience
Right.
or just a tourist trap dressed up to look like the real deal.
That's a good point. Reviews are so valuable when you're trying to get that genuine experience.
For sure.
Okay, now this next one's for all the pet parents listening. Pet-friendly rentals.
Yes.
No more sad puppy eyes as you leave for Spain. Unless, of course, they learn to book their own flights, which at this point I wouldn't even be surprised.
Honestly.
But yeah, finding pet-friendly hotels can be a nightmare. Yeah.
But with rentals, you've got so many more options.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look for websites that specifically cater to pet owners
Mm.
and pay close attention to the property descriptions. Some places even have fenced yards, which is ideal for peace of mind.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Speaking of peace of mind, apartments and houses often come with kitchens,
Yeah,
which means culinary freedom.
absolutely.
Oh, this is where I get excited. Imagine cooking paella in your Ronda apartment.
Ooh, nice.
How cool is that for your trip?
It's not just about coolness, though, although that's definitely a bonus.
Right.
Having a kitchen means you can cater to any dietary needs.
Yeah.
Enjoy those late-night snacks,
Uh-huh.
and even try your hand at some local dishes using ingredients from the Ronda markets.
Oh, hitting up those local markets sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular you'd recommend checking out?
Absolutely. You have to check out the Mercado de Abastos.
Okay.
It's this traditional Spanish market
Uh-huh.
with an amazing selection of fresh produce meats, cheeses, all those local specialties.
You can even grab a bite to eat at one of the market stalls.
Oh, that's going straight on my itinerary. Fresh ingredients and those local vibes. What could be better?
Right.
Okay, now here's something that really caught my eye in the blog post. They mentioned a trend of business travelers choosing apartments. I
Interesting.
get the appeal of space and kitchens,
Mm-hmm.
but what do you think is really driving this shift?
Well, I think it's part of this blurring of the lines between work and leisure.
Okay.
Business trips aren't just about boardrooms and meetings anymore. You know, Ronda today is really picking up on that. They're saying that even executives are craving that apartment vibe.
Yeah.
Imagine this. You wrap up your meeting,
Uh-huh.
and instead of being stuck in a hotel room,
Yeah.
you're out exploring that local market we were just talking about, maybe
Ah.
whipping up some tapas.
Like,
Who knows? Maybe that local experience will spark some inspiration and help you close that deal.
yeah, it's like they're bringing that bleisure travel trend to the business world.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Work hard, play hard.
right. And there's also the practical side of things.
Oh, for sure.
Many business travelers need a dedicated workspace,
Yeah.
and apartments often provide that along with all the comforts of home.
Absolutely. It's about productivity, but also about well-being. Feeling at home, even in a new city, can reduce stress and make those business trips much more enjoyable.
That makes sense. Now, we've been talking up apartments and houses,
We have.
but let's not forget about hotels. They're still a classic choice for a reason.
Of course, hotels offer a level of convenience and service that's hard to beat.
Right?
Think daily housekeeping room service, maybe even a spa or fitness center.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the social aspect. Hotel lobbies and bars can be great spots to meet fellow travelers or just unwind and enjoy the ambiance.
That's true.
That's really cool.
Sometimes you just want to check in and let someone else handle all the details.
Absolutely. It really comes down to what kind of experience you're looking for.
Now, Rhonda, today briefly mentioned hostels in Ronda.
Okay.
And you've stayed in a hostel in Ronda before, right?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a while ago, but it was incredible.
What was it like?
It was an adventure for sure. We had group dinners every night, explored the city together, even went on the spontaneous hike in the nearby mountains.
Wow.
It was a really great bonding experience.
That sounds amazing, honestly. I'm not sure I'm cut out for shared dorms, though. Is there like a middle ground for someone like me who wants that social aspect, but maybe a little more privacy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lots of hostels offer private rooms these days.
Okay.
So you can still have your own space while enjoying that social atmosphere. Plus, you get all the insider tips and recommendations from the hostel staff,
Yeah.
who are usually locals themselves.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we've covered the accommodation options. We have. But now I'm really curious about Ronda itself. Ronda today calls it a city of dreams. And after hearing all this, I can see why. What makes it so special?
Ronda is truly magical. Just picture this, a city perched dramatically on a cliff with these stunning views of the El Tahoe Gorge.
Wow.
It's like something straight out of a fairy tale.
And the blog mentions the Puente Nuevo, that iconic bridge.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be a must-see, right?
Absolutely. The Puente Nuevo is an engineering masterpiece. Imagine standing on that bridge, the wind whipping around you,
Whoa.
the gorge plunging hundreds of feet below.
That's incredible.
It's an experience you won't forget and definitely a photo op you don't want to miss.
Okay, Stand on the Puente Nuevo is officially going on my to-do list.
Good choice.
What about the Old Town?
The Old Town is a maze of winding cobblestone streets and historic buildings.
Nice.
You can wander around for hours discovering hidden plazas and charming cafes. It's like stepping back in time.
All right, so we've got stunning scenery, history, and charm. What else is there to discover in Ronda?
Well, Ronda is surrounded by vineyards,
Oh,
and the Serrania de Ronda region is actually known for its unique wines.
really?
Yeah, they're influenced by the mountainous terrain and the microclimate.
Wine tasting here is a must.
Wine tasting in a Spanish town overlooking a dramatic gorge. Sign me up. It sounds like Ronda really does have something for everyone. It really does. And you know what's so fascinating is how your choice of accommodation can shape your entire Ronda experience.
That's a great point, and that's what we're going to explore further in part 2 of this deep dive.
Okay.
We'll be right back to delve into the emotional side of choosing your stay. How can your choice of accommodations make your Ronda trip even more memorable and meaningful?
I'm ready.
Stay tuned. So we talked about apartments and hotels and even hostels. But Ronda today got me thinking about something beyond that, like the feel of a trip.
Right.
Does where you stay actually change how you connect with a place like Ronda?
It's a good question. It's not just about having a place to sleep, right?
Exactly.
It's about the whole experience, how it makes you feel.
Yeah, so could staying in a house or apartment, like instead of a hotel, could that actually make your Ronda trip more memorable? More real, I guess.
I think it can. When you're in a rental, you're not just passing through. You're inhabiting a space. You become a part of the neighborhood,
Right.
even if it's just for a short time.
So it's almost like you're stepping into someone else's life for a little bit.
Exactly. You might be making coffee in a kitchen that's been used by Ronda families for generations.
Oh.
Or sitting on a balcony overlooking a street that's steeped in history.
That's cool.
Those little things, they can make you feel like you belong there
Yeah.
in a way you wouldn't in a hotel.
And wouldn't those moments make your memories of the trip stronger? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's one thing to see the sights.
Yeah.
but it's another to like really feel the essence of a place.
Think about it. Years from now, will you remember a generic hotel room?
Probably not.
Or you'll remember those evenings in your Ronda apartment,
Right.
cooking with your family that smells the laughter.
Yeah, it's those little sensory details
Yeah, exactly.
that really make a trip come alive in your memories.
Right. And don't forget about the chance encounters you might have in a residential area.
Oh yeah, like what?
Chatting with a neighbor while you're out walking your dog.
Yeah.
Getting recommendations from the local shopkeeper. Those are the things you can't plan for.
Yeah. It's those unplanned moments that often become the best parts of a trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this whole idea of, finding those deeper connections through travel,
Yeah.
it's becoming really popular.
Mm-hmm.
People want those authentic experiences.
Yeah.
Something real, something different from the usual tourist stuff.
So by choosing a house or an apartment, you're not just getting a place to stay.
Right.
You're choosing a whole way to experience Rhonda,
Iggy.
to connect with it on a deeper level.
Well said.
Mm.
It's about slowing down, taking it all in,
Mm.
being present in the moment.
I love that.
And who knows, you might even discover something new about yourself along the way.
It's like the trip becomes an inner journey as much as an outer one.
Exactly. And that brings us to another important part of travel, the planning and anticipation,
Yes.
all part of the adventure.
So for anyone listening who's now like dreaming of Rhonda, where should they start?
Well, Ronda Today is an amazing resource. They have articles on everything from attractions to itineraries, and of course listings for apartments, houses, even hostels.
Perfect.
They also link to booking platforms like booking.com, so you can start browsing those Ronda rentals and see what catches your eye.
Great. And I noticed I mentioned a few other websites that might be helpful.
They did. There's visiting icadiz.com, which has information on the wider Cadiz region, and caminodel'air.es, if you're interested in hiking, the famous Caminito del Rey.
Okay.
And for something a little different, check out Wildside Holidays. They specialize in eco-friendly and wildlife-focused adventures.
Wow, this is turning into a full-blown Andalusian adventure.
I know, right?
So many possibilities.
Exactly. Sometimes the best travel experiences come from following your curiosity and being open to the unexpected.
That's true.
So dive into those resources, let your imagination run wild, and who knows what amazing discoveries await you in Ronda.
Okay, so we've talked about the practicalities of finding a place to stay and how that choice can actually shape your whole Rhonda experience. But there's one more layer to this whole accommodation thing.
Okay.
It's not just about where you stay, but how you stay.
You've got me intrigued. What do you mean by how you stay?
Well, what if instead of rushing from one site to the next,
Right.
you actually slow down and savor the experience?
Okay.
What if you spend an afternoon just hanging out in a local cafe, watching the world go by?
Ah. You're talking about the art of slow travel.
Yes.
It's about appreciating the journey, not just checking things off a list.
Exactly. What if you wander through those winding streets with no particular destination in mind, just letting your curiosity lead you to hidden corners and unexpected encounters?
I like it.
What if you immerse yourself in the rhythm of Rhonda, breathe in the mountain air, taste the local flavors, and truly feel the pulse of this ancient city?
That sounds amazing.
Those moments of quiet connection, of just being present in a new place,
Yeah,
those are the moments that stay with you long after the trip is over.
they really do.
So as you plan your Rhonda adventure, remember, it's not just about where you stay,
Right.
but how you experience your stay.
I agree.
Embrace the slow travel philosophy, be open to the unexpected, and let Rhonda work its magic.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been fantastic. We've gone from practical tips to this whole philosophy of travel.
I know, it's been great.
But before we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with one final thought, something to really ponder as they plan their Rhonda trip.
Okay, I'm listening.
So we've talked about finding that perfect place to stay,
Yeah?
blending and slowing down. But here's the thing. What if you took it even further?
Further how?
Rhonda Today mentions all those amazing sites, the Puente Nuevo, the Old Town, the vineyards.
Right.
But what if instead of just like snapping photos, you actually dug a little deeper?
Okay, I like that.
What if you actually learned about the history of the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
the stories behind those buildings, the generations of families that have been making wine in those vineyards?
Yeah. It's like the difference between looking at a painting and truly understanding the artist's vision.
Exactly.
Their technique, the emotions they were trying to convey.
It's about going beyond just the surface and connecting with the soul of Rhonda.
Yeah,
And I feel like that connection, that understanding it, stays with you long after you've left.
it does.
It becomes a part of your own story.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's about transforming a trip into an experience that enriches you, that changes your perspective, maybe even changes you a little bit.
So to our listener out there who's now dreaming of Ronda, remember this.
Okay.
Choose your accommodations, wisely embrace that slow travel philosophy, and most importantly, go beyond those guidebooks.
Yes.
Talk to the locals, ask questions, listen to their stories, and let Ronda reveal its secrets to you.
You never know. You might just discover that the most breathtaking view in Ronda isn't from the Puente Nuevo, but from a newfound understanding of this incredible place and its people.
That's a beautiful thought. And on that note, this has been an amazing deep dive into Ronda.
It really has.
We hope it's inspired you to plan your own unforgettable adventure.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Happy travels.